And lo, he did teabag.
And on the third day.
I don't like this joke. Welcome back to Watson&James Don't Play. My name is James.
I'm still Watson.
Hell yeah. As you can see, the Dark Souls 3 game servers are still down. I thought it was hilarious that they're like, we're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back. As soon as Elden Ring comes out, baby, we're going to bring them back.
What if you guys just bought Elden Rings and stopped asking us about Dark Souls? What if you just did that instead?
That's pretty much where we're at. I like how it's still trying to log... Oh, I hit OK instead of cancel. So here we go, trying to log into the Dark Souls 3 game servers again.
This is classic us.
The reason I'm doing this is because I'm already feeling kind of nostalgic for Dark Souls 3, which is stupid.
You're silly.
It's absolutely dumb. I wouldn't say I'm getting bored with Elden Ring. That's not true. But I'm getting bored with Elden Ring.
Well, and...
It's complicated.
I'd like to know what people think about that. Yeah, the game's been out for a little while now. I'd like to hear from people. Where could people get in touch with us to talk about Elden Ring or whatever else we talk about?
Who should I be? Should I be Sancho, Extra Spicy, Strong Bad, or Sassy Ass Sal?
Sassy Ass Sal.
Now we're doing Strong Bad.
And if you want to talk to us about these picks or our naming choices, we are on Twitter. WJ_don't_play.
Hell yeah. We're also on TikTok.
Oh God, we're on TikTok.
I am always on TikTok. It's a problem.
you have become addicted to the talk. And
I
it's
used
all right.
to.
It's not a bad thing. It's just very weird as a friend of yours to see unfold.
I didn't see it coming either. We're doing Strong Bad. We're doing level 70 Strong Bad.
Let's burninate, man.
Oh shit! Not here. Oh, I hate it here.
Why did you do this?
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
All right, something's squealing over here. It sounds awful. So anyway.
How's your June going?
I mean, it's my birthday this month.
Hell yeah.
I turned 35 this month.
Woo.
So I'm basically dead.
I mean, this is going to sound like a callous thing to say, but did you ever think you'd make it to 35?
No.
I know, right?
I just tried to jump. You can jump in Elden Ring. You can't jump in this game. What you can do is you can do that. You can roll.
All right, well, as we've kind of discussed before, I am about 6 months younger than you. So my birthday is also... I'm not even 6 months. I'm like 3 months younger than you.
It's really close.
So...
We were conceived...
No.
Close
I don't
together.
Want to do that math.
Oh, I do. Do the math. It's 3 months apart. So let's do some math. My birthday's in June. Your birthday's in...
Thank you.
Other month that I don't remember?
It's not so much about the months as it is the people involved. So give me some wisdom.
Look at my giant fucking sword.
How do you feel turning 35? You're still excited about giant swords? That gives me hope.
Yeah. I love giant swords. I have no children.
Do you feel good? Do you feel like an adult? Do you feel like everything you thought maybe a 35-year-old would feel like?
No.
No?
I feel like I'm 16 and I don't know what I'm doing.
And I'm pretending to do things that I think a 35-year-old would do.
I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. Did I kill everyone here already?
Yeah, I think people have talked about that. And I definitely relate to that whole kind of imposter syndrome about your whole life. It doesn't have to be, a doctor who doesn't think he's a good doctor. It's just, I don't think I'm a good really anything in public. I'm just trying not to stand out.
I've been having a kind of a tough couple weeks, actually. Just like...
Bit of a roller coaster.
I'm thinking about a lot of stuff.
Well, that's why I kind of wanted to ask you, too, about kind of where your head was at. But I don't think it's necessarily all related to your birthday, even. I just think that it's a good opportunity to kind of take inventory of what's going on.
Sometimes you look at your life and you go, why?
Yeah.
And then you... Not in a bad way, either.
No.
I don't want to sound ungrateful because I'm not.
And you are not a downer about any of this stuff. I think you're just being open and honest about your feelings, which is something that I think, people in general should do more.
People don't do it nearly enough either.
No, they don't.
Oh shit!
Wow. Shit!
I gotta
behind you.
I gotta
There's another
go.
one. Yeah, you go. Oh yeah.
Oh, did you see that shit? That was awesome.
I really enjoyed that. I thought you were just dipping, but no, you came up.
No, I was.
Yeah.
I was kind of collecting myself there a little bit.
Yeah, you did a great job. It looked all very intentional.
So I found myself at work the other day because that's what we have to do to survive. You have to go to work.
Uh-huh.
I think it's absolute bullshit, but whatever.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, right. We're not going to talk about that. There I am at work, plugging away, doing what I do, and I have a full-on existential crisis where I go, why am I me?
I'm having a little bit of crisis about that enemy you're about to face because that is a creepy undulation of...
Technically...
You see the golem face?
Technically, That is a dragon.
Shut up. Shut. No, I'm not even. We're not.
Look at his wings.
No.
Look at his wings.
Those little chicken bones? No, that ain't wings.
We
Wings
could-
the same way buffalo wings are wings.
We could go into like some pretty heavy Dark Souls lore, but we're not going to. We're going to talk about.
We're gonna go into some pretty hardcore like existential lore.
We're going to talk about the other day whenever I was staring at my hands doing things, going, "Why are these my hands?"
I don't even think you were high at the time.
No, I
That's the
don't
bad
do
part.
anything. I'm sober all the time.
You are super sober, and that's awesome. And it also frightens me to know that you had all these feelings without the aid of any kind of stimulant or
Dude.
drug.
I am just raw dogging life.
You are raw dogging life. I don't even go out without an earbud in. Like,
It's true.
I cannot raw dog life.
I see him at work. We are currently at work trying to do stuff, and he's like, "Do what now?" I'm listening to a podcast.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm halfway through an audiobook right now to keep my sanity.
And I get it. We all have our thing, but I don't have anything. I'm in a management role, and I have to be kind of fully aware of my surroundings at all times. Otherwise, something might go wrong, and someone might get hurt.
Yeah, there's machinery and stuff at work, and meanwhile I'm in a corner doing something pretty mindless, so I can kind of just be. I don't have to deal with customers or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
So yeah, I'm much more in a, hey, I'm going to listen to a podcast for 6 hours today. Don't worry about it.
Do I have?
It's fine.
There it is, Path of the Dragon. That's what I want. That's what Daddy wants.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. We're going to sit here, and it's going to bring us to where we want to go next.
So did you get any answers? What snapped you out of it?
No, I
You just stared at your hands until you had something to do?
I had shit to do,
Yeah.
and I didn't have time. I don't have time to think about the way that I am, you know?
Well, look, I mean, you can put it off, but that's not going to benefit you in the long run to do
No,
that.
and I consider myself pretty fortunate that I've had a lot of time over the years to go to therapy and snap myself out of stuff like that.
You work hard on yourself.
I try to, because
I mean,
for a
it
long
shows.
for a long time I didn't, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's how we met, was both being just mutual pieces of shit.
I wish more people would make time to just make time for yourself, you
Make
know?
time for yourself, whatever that looks like for you.
Whatever you got to do.
If it's starting a podcast with your friend to play video games so you can have one night a week to de-stress, hell yeah.
I'm pretty fortunate that I don't have to go to therapy anymore. At least I don't think I do. By and large, I'm pretty level-headed most of the time.
Even keeled, I would say.
Yeah, and it's because I've made my mental health a priority.
Absolutely.
I don't take anything for it anymore. It's just every now and then it rears its ugly head and
Right.
oh,
These guys reared their ugly head. Why don't you deal with them for a second?
and I gotta.
Are those dragons too, or are those chicken fetuses?
They're snake people.
Oh, fuck off. You can't have arms and legs and be a snake person. You're just a person at
They
that
have
point.
big, stretchy, long necks, and they come after
Care
you.
about those reject Beetlejuice monsters. Anyway.
So I kind
Sorry, I
of.
don't mean to be so mean about the... I love the design of this game. It's just the names seem ridiculously arbitrary.
What are those guys? Those are snake boys.
Yeah.
What do? They are boys and also snakes.
Yeah, we call them long boys.
The longest boys.
Slithery boys.
Hang on, wait. This guy's gonna do his thing. They spit fire too.
See, now why isn't he a dragon? He's literally spitting fire, has a long, like,
see that?
reptile-like head with neck. Like, that I believe more is a land dragon.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's gonna stab you to death if you let him. There you go.
So the way that I snap out of it is that it's more than just like I have shit to do, because that's not
Entirely accurate.
If anyone that actually struggles with mental health, they know that just read a book, just go for a walk. It's like it's not that simple. I have techniques.
Although I will say, going for a walk and things like that, they are linked to improved mental health. They are not a cure-all, and they are not a magic Band-Aid for your problems either. No, you have to do the real work.
Just go outside, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went outside. I'm still super duper sad.
I'm still super duper sad, and I have a high enough brain function that I can't trick myself that easily into just being happy.
Right.
I kind of have to genuinely be happy. I can't fake it till I make it, as they say.
So the way that I snapped myself out of it is that I just I went back to the exercises that have been given me in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of ground myself, think about what I'm doing in the moment.
Yes.
What are the things that I'm responsible for, and who are the people that are counting on me?
I've been given that advice as well, as far as grounding techniques for anxiety.
And then I was talking about this with you earlier today, and you're like, June is actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it, but it is.
And you said something hilarious to me where, say it again, something about being horny and mad at the same time. I forget.
The two emotional states of men are horny and angry. That's what we're allowed to be.
Right. And if we're not any of those, we better be useful.
We better be real useful.
You better know how to do some shit.
If you're useful, I don't care what your emotions are. Other than that, I'm going to assume you're either angry or horny.
Right.
Because, it's the way it's portrayed.
So if you're a man and you struggle with mental health and you think that people will look down on you for seeking help for that, fuck those people.
I'm so glad that stigma does feel like it's starting to go away. As somebody who has also participated in therapy and different types of things to try to fix myself and deal with some of my issues. I've already seen, just in the last 10, 15 years that the stigma is going away, I feel like.
Sure, yeah.
It's not nearly the same as it was, when I was 16 and talking about going to a therapist. That was fairly unheard of. In my social circle.
I wish there was something that was told to me a long time ago to where you don't have to, if you don't want to deal with certain people in your life,
you're not obligated to.
Then you don't fucking have to.
Yeah, well, there's been a huge movement, I think, in our generation, especially.
Fuck.
To just, yeah. Really,
shit.
He wasn't having any of your shit. There's been a big push, though, I feel like, in our generation, especially, and everybody younger, it seems like common sense to them, I feel like. But we were kind of the turning point to say, like, no, you can cut people out of your life. And it's not a matter of, oh, I have to get closure, or I have to make people like me, or I have to get along with people, or I just got to grin and bear it because they're my family, and what can I do about this? No, there's been a real big push to just say, if they are bad for you and you can't help that, then you have to move away from that. And that's okay.
I got a text message from someone that is going to remain nameless for obvious personal reasons, but someone that I used to be involved with.
We'll call her Amanda.
Sure. Oh, no.
I got you, buddy.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll call her that. And all it said was, hey. And I said, all right, first off, boring.
Right.
That's all it said was,
week opener.
Hey. And I was like, oh, shit. I forgot to block your number.
Yeah.
And I didn't respond to it. I blocked the number. I have not heard from this person since. They are straight up dead to me. I couldn't give
for good reason, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I could not give a fuck. And I really hope they feel the same way about me.
Do you wish them any specific ill will?
No, of course not.
Exactly. That's the difference. We're not talking about, being mean for mean's sake or cold and heartless towards people, because people are people and they deserve empathy. But it is, at a certain point, really appropriate and necessary to prioritize your own mental health and your own well-being, because you can't be of any use to anyone else if you're not in order, and like you said, there are people counting on you. You have responsibilities, you have things and relationships and people and dogs and all kinds of stuff that matter to you. So in those moments when Amanda reaches out and says, hey, yeah, you just ground yourself a little and remember what the real priority is, and you go, yeah, block my number. Bye.
It's like, you know what? I'm going to take care of this for you. I'm going to do you a favor, and whatever you feel like you need to tell me, I promise it's not important.
It is not important. It will not change anything.
Not a goddamn thing. So whatever you got to cut out of your life, just cut it out, man. It's good.
I think that's a good place to wrap up the heavy segment of the show, because I feel like we're playing such a fun game, and it's I'm having a good time, and I think it's important to talk about these things. But I also realize people listen to podcasts like this for fun, for jokes.
You called it the pod.
I called it the pod.
You piece of shit.
I've now had 3 people make fun of me for saying that in casual conversation. And keep in mind, I'm not just broadcasting this to anybody who will listen. These are close friends
people that you rely on and you look up to.
People that I would want to have my respect, and vice versa. It was a real kind of humbling experience to be like, oh yeah, I do sound like every other dipshit. All right, fair enough. I'm still gonna call it the pod.
Bro just missed me. He just jumped over top of me. This is a lot fucking harder than Elden Ring.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it harder?
It is harder than Elden Ring. There is no jump button. There is no sneak button.
How does it stack up compared to Batman Returns?
Substantially better.
All right.
All right. You know, it's funny you bring up Batman. I was just reading about...
We always bring up Batman. We love Batman.
Fuck yeah. Batman's awesome.
Batman's the shit.
I was reading about Kevin Conroy. He's got a new comic coming out. He wrote a comic, and you might want to look this up because I don't remember anything about it as far as what it's called.
Kevin Conroy, for people who don't know, is who?
The voice of Batman. And
Which Batman? Because there's been like 10 different series.
I don't give a fuck which Batman. He's the voice of Batman.
I understand what you're trying to say, but I want people to actually know who this guy is.
He's the voice.
Give the info.
He's the voice of Batman from Batman the Animated Series from the 90s. And it was a fluke that he got the part, too. Because he just kind of... His voiceover agent called him up and said, hey, I might have something for you. Kevin Conroy was not super familiar with Batman at the time. And he said, all right, cool. So he showed up and got to talking to the creative team. And then just kind of figured out, like, hang on. I'm fucking Batman. He's not doing that with Batman, but he is Batman, right? He learned it pretty early on that he was Batman. He was supposed to be Batman. Uh-oh. So
this year for Pride, Kevin Conroy's story is going to be published in DC Comics.
And I had no idea. He's not a public person.
I think that's one of the main reasons why he's doing it this way is because he knows that people don't know about his personal life, and I think he feels, that he wants to. Now is the time to tell his story,
and he feels safe doing it too.
Right. And he's so beloved too. I can't imagine anyone being no one but supportive.
No one has a problem with Kevin Conroy as far as I know. And if they do, fuck those people. Uh-oh, this is bad. Uh-oh. I'm scared. I'm running. I gotta go.
So yeah, exciting June.
Yeah.
It's a big month.
Did you find out, I don't know if you looked at your phone or not, did you find out what his new comic is actually called?
The only thing I saw was that it was coming out under the DC Pride label for Pride Month this year.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
I love Kevin Conroy. He's the fucking man. We have nothing but great things to say about it. If you go back and listen to some of our episodes that where we kind of recap the Venture Brothers, he features pretty heavily in season 4. Gets his own episode where he plays a Batman-like character. Go ahead and listen to that episode. It's pretty fun.
You ready?
But yeah, we love Kevin.
Watch this.
Do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So you just jumped off a ledge, a huge ledge, probably 100 feet tall, onto a dragon.
An ancient wyvern. Like, this dragon is super old. And I just stabbed him in the fucking head.
You just destroyed the air of fire.
That was cool, man.
That was real cool. I like your little hipster scarf.
You like it? Yeah.
I genuinely do. I think it's pretty cool.
That is, the armor from that is from a character called Artorias, and he's from the first Dark Souls game. He was the big, one of the big bosses in the downloadable content for Dark Souls. And I think he's called Artorias the Abyss Knight or something like that.
Awesome.
Abyssal Knight.
Awesome. And
he went down into the abyss to conquer the abyss.
No, it's the Abysmal Knight, right? Like he was just terrible at being a knight.
Well, kind of. So he's held up in high regard as defeating the abyss.
Oh, okay.
The abyss won. He did not win.
The abyss always wins. If we learned anything from Nietzsche, it's that the abyss always wins.
So from what I understand is like your character goes down into the abyss. You fight Artorias. You find out that he's been corrupted by the abyss, and you defeat the big darkness. He ends up getting all the credit though because he's the guy that was supposed to be incorruptible.
Ah, I do like that.
Yeah, it was cool. And you have to fight his dog, and that sucks.
I also like the movie The Abyss.
In addition to that, I also enjoy The Abyss, the movie.
If you'd like to come over and watch the commentary track for the special edition DVD, nathanwatson.art@gmail.com.
Who directed The Abyss?
About that. Jim Cameron.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Remember we talked about him having that obsession with water?
Yeah, that's his thing, right?
That's his thing. The Abyss, Titanic, Avatar 2, The Watering.
The Watering? What are you guys doing in Avatar land? Oh, we got to water these plants?
Yeah, if you want to hear my hardline opinions on that, you can listen a couple episodes back where we talk about that.
Oh, goddamn.
The new Avatar trailer that's out.
His
you
sword
were getting
awesome
slapped occasionally, but you do have a pretty great sword.
It's a big boy, isn't it?
Yeah, I
love it.
wanted to hear a little more about that. This is the first time seeing of this sword.
So this is every Dark Souls game has the Guts sword, and it's based on Berserk, the manga or the anime, whichever one you subscribe to. A lot of people, they like the manga. How do you say that?
I don't.
Okay. And this is his big sword. There's always been a version of Guts sword in the Dark Souls game because
I'm familiar with Cloud from Final Fantasy VII having a long sword like that.
Yeah, the bastard sword.
Yeah, there you go. The bastard sword is more how I would.
But for this game though, it's been kind of understood that the motivation for Dark Souls has been the manga Berserk.
Ooh.
And so every version has this sword in it because the creator of the game is a huge fan. And if you go and watch Berserk or read Berserk, the similarities pile up pretty quick.
Sure.
It's super cool. Oh, yes. This does a lot of damage, though. I thought I was going to be a little underpowered for this.
No,
bit.
I think you're doing just great.
Things are going okay for me. I was so intimidated by Dark Souls when it came out.
As you should be. It's a formidable game.
But I hate the kind of the gatekeeping that comes along.
Yeah, anything that's difficult to achieve, people love to latch onto it and form their identity around it and make it to where they gatekeep it.
Basically, they make it so that way you can't play it. No one can enjoy this. I'm the only one that gets to play it.
And you're doing it wrong and blah, blah, blah.
And if you die too much, the only advice that I can give you is get good. And
get good. And we grew up on the OG message boards and LAN parties and things like that where that was the common thing, and poning noobs and all that. But I don't know. I just feel like overall, I think Dark Souls has a pretty good community, honestly. Do you think not? I mean, I skim the surface of it, obviously. I'm not as deep into it as you are, but I don't hear about it as a negative as much as I do a lot of the other.
The things that I like about the Dark Souls community is that the people that are assholes get piled on really quickly.
Yeah, there's a pretty good kind of self-policing force within the community, it feels like.
And then there's the whole, I don't know. It's kind of it can be touchy sometimes because they pile on a little too quickly.
Well, sure. There's always the mob mentality, and even if you have a quote-unquote righteous cause, it can go pear-shaped pretty quick.
But that being said, I've never had a bad experience playing a Dark Souls game.
Right.
I mean, in Elden Ring, you can get teabagged now, and I think that's fucking hilarious.
It feels like one of those things that in 100 years, no one's going to know why their video games even do that, but it'll just be an accepted part of gaming.
It'll just be a thing that happens,
It's been there from the dawn of time, and we continue it on as is tradition.
From the dawn of time, teabagging existed.
I mean, honestly, right?
And lo, he did teabag.
And on the third day...
I don't like this joke. I'm done with this joke.
It's a terrible joke.
It's a fucking stupid joke.
So you were telling me about, kind of how you're keeping yourself grounded and how you're approaching 35. And, we're talking about Mental Health Month and stuff like that. So you want to know what I do? You know what I do to stay grounded?
I do, yeah. Absolutely.
So I do a mixture of things. And kind of to what you were saying about a mixture of techniques and kind of getting away from medication and things like that, I've kind of taken a similar path. I was on medication in my early 20s, kind of replaced that with therapy, meditation, art therapy, stuff like that. But more often than not these days, the simplest thing that I can do to kind of put myself in a good headspace is I like to go to the movies alone.
Yeah?
It's kind of become like my happy place.
That's cool.
Libraries and movie theaters. They're just a great place to be alone. I know some people have hang-ups about, going to see a movie alone or whatever, but it's not like you're talking to your friend the whole time.
Right.
You're sitting next to them in the dark. Like, why do they even need to be there is kind of my thought of it. And also, it's just a much more, it puts you into a better space to absorb the movie.
Sure.
It's more immersive that way because you're not worried about your friend and what they're thinking, and you're not trying to think of a witty comment to whisper to them and stuff like that. You're actually focused on the movie. And so for most of this year, I mean, since it's been basically safe to do so, I've been trying to see a movie about every week. The last one I saw has probably been my favorite of the ones that I've seen kind of during this run. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it is?
Does the director's name start with a C and end with a Ronenberg?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Gregory Cronenberg.
Gregory Cronenberg.
No, his name's David Cronenberg, and I love him. He's a beautiful Canadian artist who just knows how to get right to the core of squishy, gross human stuff.
Yeah, what's that about? His body horror, right? That's his
Body
thing.
horror is kind of the genre that he is known for. Amongst horror fans. In addition to, he makes other types of movies, but that's really his.
That's his bread and butter.
That's his niche, as they say. And this latest movie that he's put out, Crimes of the Future. You know, it's one of those movies where you click one review and it says, audiences walked out within the first 6 minutes. And then you click another review and it says, there was a 6-minute standing ovation at the end of this. And you go, well, now I got to see it.
It's got to be like what you're into, right?
Now I got to see it. And
it made $1 million in its first weekend.
Which is huge for Cronenberg.
Is it? Okay. I really don't know.
Here in the States, modern day and age, with the way theaters they are, yeah, it's pretty good. It doesn't matter, really, because he's an artist and he's going to keep putting out his movies his way. So the money's not the important thing here. But it is nice to see people going out to the theaters. Even though I was the only person in my showing of that movie.
Really?
That was the only one.
It just came out, though. You'd think there'd be at least 2 other weirdos in there with you.
No, everybody's going to see Top Gun and stuff, which I also saw the week before.
And you liked it, didn't you?
I liked it, yeah. As much as I liked the first Top Gun.
I've never seen the first Top Gun.
Which is astonishing to me. Just of your 80s action movie and stuff. Like, you have that background. You should have watched that movie.
It never came up
at some point.
It never came
up.
A few movies that came to mind. Another one that came to mind that never came up was Me, Myself, and Irene. I've never seen it.
Did you know that the Me, Myself, and Irene soundtrack features 13 Steely Dan covers?
I do now.
And broken up in the middle by The Offspring covering AFI. This is the most bonkers soundtrack choices I have ever heard.
We could fill an entire episode over the relationship between AFI and The Offspring, but we're not going to.
I'll cut to the chase about the Steely Dan stuff too. Go ahead and look up the Wilco cover of Any Major Dude Will Tell You. That's the only song worth listening to off that.
I'm in love with the drummer.
It sure isn't Smash Mouth's version of one of their songs. Ugh. I'm sorry you identified with him, but I heard that and I was like, no, James, this is not a role model for you.
I identified with him because he was chubby.
At a certain point in your life, for certain reason, I know he's not your deity.
Hey, you're fat and you made a music video.
And you wear that visor pretty cool.
All right, I don't want to be your friend, but good for you.
Maybe we could hang out at a wine fest.
You guys are going to come fight me or what? Come on.
No, I think they're just taunting you.
They are. They're doing all right.
So, Crimes of the Future. If you guys get a chance, please see it on the big screen. Please, you get to see these deranged lesbians drill a guy's head.
Okay.
It's awesome. Surgery is the new sex, you guys. That's all you need to know. It's a fucking comedy. It's dry as hell.
Is it a comedy, really?
It is to me.
Oh, okay.
No, it is genuinely a comedy. They have a pun in there called the Inner Beauty Pageant. That's fucking hilarious.
That's stupid. I love it.
It's so dry in that way. It's that kind of humor where if you get it, if you're kind of in on the joke, it's hilarious.
Gotcha.
Oh, you know that? You know the guy with the ears? Have you seen the promotionals stuff for it?
Not really, no.
So one of the images that they've been sharing to like get people interested in this movie is it's just a guy, you know, it's a bust. So it's from his shoulders up, and he's got his eyes and his mouth sewn shut, and then you can tell that he's got like 2 extra ears on his forehead, and his head's shaved, so he's got 4 ears on the side of his head instead of just 2, and it's, you know, it's meant to be a provocative, shocking image, right?
Yeah.
And so you go into the movie thinking like, oh, I can't wait for this guy to show up, right? Like, this is going to be bonkers. Where's the ear guy?
Where's the ear guy? Let me see your gross ear thing.
So when I tell you that the movie itself spends about 2 solid minutes just ripping on the ear guy and making fun of him, it's the funniest thing
Love it.
I've seen in a while. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I won't talk about the plot. It's not for everyone. I understand that it's not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea, but if you go into it with the right mindset, if you're familiar with Cronenberg, you'll love it. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
When does Aragorn fight the Mordor in the movie?
So it appears in this movie that he lost that fight and now has a pretty bad swallowing problem and some body issues.
Oh, that sucks.
If you do like I do and think that all all actors' careers are just one long story, and they're all playing the same character all the time. So like Christopher Walken from The Dark Half is also Christopher Walken, the ping pong guy from Balls of Fear.
Aragorn, you're a fucking weirdo, man.
You wanted to fuck that elf.
Ah!